I keep reading that Native Americans would use cattail fluff as insulation in their moccasins, and early settlers and pioneers would actually collect it and use it as stuffing in quilts and things like that. So I'm down here by a little pond, and it's all froze over. And behind me I got some cattails, and I'm gonna collect some of these and try to line my moccasins with them. Okay, there we got a good handful. It's probably plenty. Okay guys, so here are two different types of moccasins. These are just straight center seam. These are a northern Algonquin style moccasin. The difference is, well, for one, they don't have a center seam, but they have a what's called a vamp on top, and then the bottom piece puckers and sews to this vamp right here. A lot of eastern woodlands had center seam moccasins, but they also had center seam pucker toe. So they would have a center seam up like this, but then they'd pucker like this around the front here, gathering to their center seam. So they're kind of a mixture between these two. And I don't have a pair of center seam moccasins big enough to stuff with cattail fluff. I tried here on these ones, but they just aren't big enough. They were made kind of tight for summer moccasins without anything inside of them. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use this style, which isn't quite accurate if you're doing a long hunter impression. You'd want to go more center seam or center seam pucker toe. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to take these cattail fluffs, I'm going to break them all up inside this moccasin. These aren't going to work with your summer moccasins that are tight, as I just found out. But I'm just going to break a whole bunch of these up down inside there. Give a good layer on the bottom of your foot. A lot of the cold comes from your foot touching a cold surface, like the snow or the ice or cold frozen ground. Okay guys, I got these things packed pretty solid with, well, not solid, but I got them pretty full with this cattail fluff. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my foot in there and pack all that down. That'll give me a great big layer up against the snow. And but then the top of your toes are going to be exposed. So I'm going to slide these on. I like this. There, I can feel that I got such a nice big base that I'm going to kind of fluff these up. And that's actually putting some of this back over the top of my toes. I kind of dig your toes down in there. And there I can feel I got some fluff on top of my toes and underneath. And then you take some more, because the top and the sides of your feet don't have anything now. You're going to stuff these down in there. Fill up the sides down towards the back of your heel. And like I said, this makes a mess, and it takes a lot of these cattails, but it's actually helping them spread around. Try to get some on top of your foot. Okay guys, so I got a lot of this stuff packed in there. I got it packed behind my heel pretty good. And I can actually feel my foot. It feels warm. Only thing is, my big toe is a little bit cool. I had trouble packing it around my big toe, but it's nice and packed around my other toes. But I'm trying to kind of shift this up there. But I'm gonna tuck my wool legging down inside my moccasins, and you can do these with your center seam moccasins as long as they're big enough for this. Inside these moccasins, I have a pair of wool liners and a modern merino wool sock. And inside this one, I have all the cattail fluff stuffed around my foot, and that's it. So I'm gonna hike around for a little bit, and then I'll come back and tell you guys how these worked. Okay guys, I've been standing on this packed snow for about 20 minutes now, and I found something kind of interesting. The foot with the blanket wool liner and the wool sock got cold right away, especially on my heel. I can feel cold all the way down my foot on this foot, about even. Now on the foot with the cattail fluff, all the way down my foot I had a good layer of cattail fluff, and the bottom of my foot is plenty warm, even my heel. It is about 22 degrees out here, so it's chilly, but it's not bitter cold. Only thing right now is my big toe again. I didn't get it packed good underneath my big toe. My big toe is a little bit cold on the bottom. And the other spot that's cold is about right here. All the cattail fluff kind of settled down as I was walking around and slid down past all this. So you might have to walk around and repack some more in there. So this is cold right here, whereas it's warm on this foot with the wool. But like I said, all the way down here is plenty warm on the bottom. It's actually a lot warmer on the bottom than this foot is. But like I said, the top of my foot, the heel of my foot isn't too bad on this one, where this side is cold, and my big toe is a little bit cold. But all the other outside toes are actually quite warm, and and I have no sock on or anything. So this is the first time I tried this, and I think if you had enough packed in there, this stuff would actually be a pretty good insulator. I could feel the bottom of my foot standing here on this cold ice. I don't feel it cold except on the bottom of my big toe. Where this one here, I can feel the cold all the way down it. So I'm pretty impressed with how this is working out. Okay guys, well, I appreciate you hanging out today for this quick little experimental type video. This is kind of how you learn things, by getting out and just trying it. So like I said, the more you can stuff in on the bottom, the warmer your foot's going to be. You'll be surprised how much the top of your foot can actually take in the cold. Most of the cold comes from what you're standing on. So like I said, it's actually not doing too bad. And I haven't seen any actual references that were written in the 18th century on cattail fluff being used as moccasin liners. I see it written places by historians and things, but I haven't seen the actual documentation on this, where they're getting at. It might just be one of those things that Native Americans have just kind of always done, and there isn't really anything written down on it, but a lot of people say that it was done. So yeah, I appreciate you hanging out, and any other questions on it, let me know, and I'll try something else out if you have any other suggestions on how to do this. So appreciate you watching, and I'll see you in the next video.